Good day, guys. Mark here again, and welcome back to my channel. If you love cars, DIYs, or basically anything car related, please consider subscribing and check out my playlist. On today's video, yes, you read the title correctly. I'm gonna show you on how you will be able to remove basically the radiator fan assembly itself to be able to either replace the assembly, the whole thing, replace the blades, and of course replace the motor itself. This is the one of the common issues that car owners or Eon owners specifically encounters on either the third year or the fourth year of the car itself. We don't have any definitive reason why the radiator motor breaks down or breaks out easily. It is actually a case-to-case basis. Okay, so for the new car owners, I just wanted to show to you what is or where is the radiator motor fan. I mean, so the radiator fan motor is that thing over there. The assembly is the whole thing. This one, and what it does is it actually sucks out um, air and basically cools down the coolant that flows down to your coil. I mean the coil inside the radiator. What happens is hot water goes here. The excess water goes to your excess hot coolant goes to your reservoir to cool down, and then once the coolant has been cooled down, then it will suck the cold coolant back. Okay, so the cycle is like this. So it goes down. While it's going, the coolant is going down. Forced air cools it down at the same time. The radiator fan sucks that cold air and then blows it at the back towards the engine. Okay, so if that doesn't work, and if you're stuck in traffic, there's really no cooling air that would assist the radiator to cool down the coolant going back to your engine. So that's the reason why you overheat. All right, so for us to be able to remove the assembly to access the motor, we need to remove the air filter box. So this is pretty straightforward. Just remove this, and the three bolts and the inlet connecting to your throttle body. I do have a video for that one, but let me show this um, to you guys anyways. So remove this too. Okay, next one. This is a must because it would be difficult for you to remove one of the bolt that is holding the assembly. So just for you to be able to have that extra space, we will be removing the air filter box assembly. This is fairly easy to do, even for newbies. Alright, so those three bolts are out. You should be able to remove the clamp by hand, or the screw that holds the clamp here for the hose. Okay, once that's loose, give it a little twist. Okay, should come right off. And once the assembly or the air filter box assembly is off, just remove the two bolts. I already removed one. I will be removing the next one right here. Right there. Okay, that bolt. Okay. Two bolts has been removed for the radiator fan assembly. As you can see, it's already loose. Next thing to do would be, all right, so let me just place you guys where you can see or have a better view. Okay, so um, all right, so this is the assembly. um, First thing to do, guys, would be, after removing the bolts, is remove the um, hose that is clamped on the housing for your radiator motor. Okay, after removing that, next thing to remove would be the terminal.
A few moments later.
So what I did, guys, is I basically um, loosen up the clamp using a vice grip. And at this point, all we need to do now is just pull out the hose, prepare the cloth or the rag um, that you have to catch the coolant. So give it a little twist, and coolant will flow out. And just like that. Okay. And okay, I will be leaving the clamp retained like that, and then at this point I actually just wipe the coolant off. All right, so at this point, guys, you should be able to pull out the assembly like this. Okay. So just check out for the parts that is blocking the assembly. It's much difficult on my part because of the um, wirings that I have. And there you go, guys. So that's the assembly. What I did was I actually removed one of the wire on the grounding kit that's basically blocking the assembly. And this is the one that I removed, the one on the throttle body. So I'll be returning it later. Um, since the assembly has been removed, might as well. Alright guys, so this is the assembly itself. This is the motor, um, the blade, this one, and the housing. Since we've already removed the assembly itself, might as well clean it. We'll be cleaning the blades. This is actually a waterproof motor, so same goes with other radiator fan motor. As you can see, it's a bit dirty, um, and you might want to spray some penetrating oil right there. My motor is actually about, this is going 3 years old almost, I think. This is a Denso motor. So if you guys are asking what are the compatible motor for Eon, the one I'm sure with is for Hyundai Getz. Some says for Grand Starex is also compatible, but Hyundai Getz is the one compatible with Hyundai Eon. You just need to basically just like what I did, replace the um, terminal, so it would just bolt onto your terminal. The circulation of the air should be, it's going to be sucking out air, so this is the one facing the engine, so the air should blow out. Okay. And I almost forgot guys, for you to be able to remove the motor, just remove this, the wire, the three screws right here, here, and then remove this clip, and then you should be able to pull this out, remove the fan blade, and pull out the motor. Okay. And so if you just want to make sure that the motor that you'll be purchasing is compatible, you can just pull this out, go to your local auto supply. They should be able to find a compatible part for this one. And aside from Hyundai Getz, I do believe Kia Picanto is also compatible for Hyundai Eon. So I'm just waiting for everything to dry out before returning it back. And also please be careful with this blade. This is really sharp. Okay, that's why they have warning um, stickers located at the top of the assembly. Okay.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so I will be putting the assembly back just to show you guys. It's really not that hard to do. This is actually easier if you're gonna do it on a different vehicle because of the space inside the engine bay. Okay, so just retract everything. Okay. So okay, just making sure that I don't bump into the oxygen sensor. Um, that guy is a bit sensitive, so we don't want to damage that in any way. Okay. go. And okay, my grounding kit is getting in the way. Alright, so the assembly itself is already inside. All I need to do, or all we need to do now, is just get the hose and then make sure that the terminal is in place, or the socket, and then just align the um, clips at the bottom like that. All right, yeah, it's actually in place already. Lucky me. All right, now we just need to reverse the process. First thing would be the um, first thing that I would do would be to put a screw on the assembly. Okay. Okay. So aligning the clips is pretty easy because it's big. Um, and all you need to do is just align the holes at the top. If those two aligns, then most probably the clips at the bottom is also aligned. Okay, like what I did. See? And so just put the bolts on the assembly just to hold it in place. Okay, don't tighten it yet. That would be the last thing that we will be doing next. All right, so remember the hose that we removed. All right, so just clip it in place like that and that. Next would be the socket terminal. And then right before returning the hose, um, place the clamp. Let me just clean this a bit. Morning. All right, so after returning the clamp, of course, the next in line would be the hose, the upper radiator hose. So just gently slide it in place. Okay, just be gentle on this part, guys, because sometimes I often see people breaking the inlet for the radiator. All right, and then I just released the clip. Just wipe this dry because we're gonna test it later for any leaks. Okay, and of course I'm gonna return my baby, uh, my grounding kit. Okay. And the assembly. And guys, when removing the air filter assembly, especially if you've been lubricating the bolt, be careful with the dowel pins. This guys or the guides, but this is commonly called as dowel pins. Um, they might fall out on your engine bay, so just be careful. Okay, next in line would be the assembly, the air filter assembly, air box. And this is this is not too difficult, guys, to do. The replacement or the removal of the assembly, radiator assembly itself. Um, it's just a bit messy if you're gonna do it. So if you're afraid of getting your hands dirty, then better uh, pay somebody else to do it for you. Okay, but if you wanna, of course, save at least um, 500 to 1,000, even 1,500 pesos, because I actually saw some mechanics online charging up to 1,500 pesos, excluding the parts, to get the motor replaced for Hyundai Eon. So at least having an idea how to do it would at least save you um, the cost for the labor. Uh, okay. Okay. And after returning everything, of course, we're going to test it to see if the fan is working. And of course, if there's any leak on the hose that connects to our radiator. And you guys can see how useful my toolbox or tool bag is. Um, I do have a video for that one. What are the things that inside my tool bag? You might want to check that out. Um, this will actually save your life. Um, Not save your life, but save you from save you a fortune, because you should be able to do simple things, simple maintenance, as well as complicated ones, as long as you know what you are doing. Okay, right before firing the engine up, of course, we wanted to double check everything. So hose check, Socket check, hose for the reservoir check, and the screws, everything. There's no screws left. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Let me just fix the tools and we're gonna fire her up. Good morning, guys. Now it's time to fire our car up and see if our radiator motor fan works. Okay, so it's a cold start. All right, so let's turn on the aircon and let's go in front. Let's see if so. As you can see, the motor is working. You can hear it as well. The motor is working. Yep. So now it's time to check for a leak on the hose. I don't see any drops, so good. And the motor turned off. Let's wait for it to kick in. And it turned on again. Perfect. Alright guys, that concludes our DIY video for today on how you will be able to remove the radiator fan motor assembly, the whole thing, replace the motor, clean, what are the compatible parts. If you find this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and check out the playlist that I have. I do have a lot of DIY videos and product review. Again, this is Mark. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. See you on the next vlog.